Wake up in the morning, get my grind on. Hop in the shower, brush my teeth and get my shine on. Hey, Scholar Mac, we taking trips to different time zones. I feel like E.T. way these bitches trying to follow home. Wake up in the morning, get my grind on. Hop in the shower.
Welcome everybody to Living on Purpose podcast. We're your host, James Hagler, and myself, Jason Wilson. Today we have Marques Ogden, ex-football supreme athlete from the Baltimore Ravens, Tennessee Titans. This brother, he's a good friend of ours now. He's been on before. Welcome back, Marques.
How you doing, man? Thanks for having me on, fellas. Appreciate it, Jason. Appreciate it, man. James, appreciate y'all having me back on, man.
It's all good. It's all good.
I see you've been busy, man.
Yeah, man.
You put the grind on, man.
Dude, you know what, man? Ain't nobody gonna take care of you other than you. So you gotta go out there. Now, thank God we have a phenomenal team of people. My business partner, Dawn, my website designer, George, my videographer, Donovan, my trademark and patent person, Albert. We just brought on a new publicist, Ben, who's doing phenomenal. And we also have a great team. It's like, bookkeepers, accountants, lawyers. But, what we found, man, is that, the great team is awesome. But if you don't grind with the great team that you have in place, then you're really wasting your time and their talent.
Marques, what I really like about you, though, man, is that, you don't leave your social media accounts to your team. I mean, you engage with people, you like people's posts, and I really, really like that.
Yeah, Jason, because here's the thing, man, like you have to get fully engaged. I did a speaking job today in Washington, North Carolina. It's a small town, probably about 2 hours going east of Raleigh. It's probably about 20 minutes outside of Greenville, which is like near ECU, the East Carolina University in Greenville, North Carolina. And I talked to them about great leaders are leaders that engage, adapt, deliver. So they lead, engage, adapt, deliver. And when I told them about engaging, you got to be present in conversation. People can tell if you're not really into the conversation, if you're trying to get something from them, if you're not really hearing what they're saying and just trying to, listen to respond and not listen to understand, there's a huge difference. So I tell people all the time, you have to be really focused on the whole prospect and whole process of engaging people, especially on social media. Now, my team will tell me what to post, what time to post. But once I post what they tell me to and the caption they tell me to, all the engagement is me. It's me responding to people. When I like stuff, that's me. When I comment on stuff, that's me. Because I tell this to all my clients, people want to know who you are beyond the business Mr. X or the business Mrs. Y, because they're going to be buying you, not just an extension of your business. So if you don't come across genuine, yeah, it's gonna be a long day for you.
No doubt. And I see some of the celebrities doing it, and I think they should do it a lot more. Because there's a lot of them out there, they don't say nothing. I mean, you could say whatever, they don't respond. But I know Kevin Hart was responding big time on Facebook, and I thought that was dope. I just thought that, that's something that you can give back to the fans. I mean, you don't got to talk too much or say anything. You could like something and give a shout out and say, hey, that was a great post that you post. Man, you just don't know how much that you're double up on your following if you would do that, to take the time to do that. Now, I do know posts and stuff like that and being involved and being engaged, like you said, that's a lot of work. Because when I started getting into it, I mean, I didn't even know how to do it. I had a friend tell me, hey, you got to post it like this. You got to say this. If you don't do that, they think you're crazy and this and that. And I was like, really, man? Then I started doing that. And I was like, man, this is a job within itself. Just to do, if you're on all those platforms, I could see why you would need somebody to come in and do that for you. Like 50 Cent. 50 Cent, he got people that come in and do that to him. But I know when, if you follow a person long enough, you know when they're posting. You know what I'm saying? Because he has somebody doing it for him, but then he makes special posts himself. And I think that's dope when you do that, man. I really do. That way people get to know you, like you said.
Well, what happens is, James, you start living by the law of authenticity. And I read a book called The Go-Giver by Bob Berg, and I wasn't a big reader until this year. I've been really making myself read more. That's one of my goals that I'm going to accomplish this year. It's more reading. It's really advantageous in my career as a speaker, so I'm going to start doing a lot more. And I finished that book last week on my flight to Cleveland for a speaking job. And one of the laws that a go-giver that succeeds in business lives by is the law of authenticity. The best gift you have to offer to somebody else is yourself. So if you're not engaging people, if they don't know who you are, what you're about, your position, your philosophies, how you do things, then I feel you're going to end up missing the boat. And I feel people are going to look at you and say, oh God, another one of these people who doesn't engage me, another one of these people that's not authentic, another one of these people that's just trying to shop for likes and shop for followers. And for me, I'm not shopping for likes, shopping for followers. And that's kind of what Ben and my partner Dawn have been doing with the social media. We're posting less, but the posts are strategic, but the engagement when people comment or make some type of, some type of reference to the post, it's going to always be high because I'm always going to take time out of my day to respond to people. They can take a few seconds out of their day to write a nice comment on a post, like fantastic post, Marques, so inspiring, Marques. Like, I'm going to take a few seconds out of my day to say, thank you very much, appreciate you, or give them some type of emoji, a thumbs up, a smile, something. It doesn't take long. But that's how our LinkedIn has grown so much, because we have 30,000 connections, almost 40,000 followers. And, that all came about from just that whole process of engaging people and living by the law of authenticity.
No doubt.
Yeah, everything that you do, I mean, it just flourishes and manifests. Man, I have a question for you, though. And we posed this to a personal trainer before the beginning of the year, Marques. I said, man, at the beginning of the year, everybody sets their goals and they want to, lose weight, build muscle, or whatever fitness goal that they have. And they start out, fired up, motivated, encouraged. And by March, you don't see those people in the gym anymore. So you as a coach, Marques, what do you do to keep people motivated throughout the year to achieve their goals?
And see, that word right there is the whole essence of the problem. They're motivated for it. I don't motivate people because motivation is for the short term. You said it exactly correct, Jason. They're motivated when they get to the gym for that in January for a short time. They're in there January, February, they're not seeing the results they still go. Usually by around March, April, at the latest, they're out of the gym. Like, it's not worth it. And the problem is they're not inspired to make a real change. And I tell my clients, if you're motivated to do something, don't even bother hiring me or engaging me, because I'm not the coach for you, because I'm not going to motivate you to do something. If you're inspired to do something, you're going to push through the no's, the hard times, the negativity. I talked about this today. I told the audience I had a ton of success as a construction, concrete, demolition, excavation contractor, but I was never inspired to actually do it for the right reasons. I was motivated by money, fame, notoriety. What happened? I had massive success and then it crashed and burned because I was never inspired to really make a pure difference. Now in my speaking business and our coaching and our brand and our consulting and our overall Ogden Venture speaking, coaching, brand, we are inspired to actually make a change. So for the first 2.5 years, when I got no paid speaking jobs, I kept going. We kept going. And as a result of that, now we're having success. So it's a lot easier to continue when you've already faced a lot of negativity, a lot of adversity, because you were inspired to do something. So I tell our clients, if you're motivated to achieve something, I'm not the coach for you. If you're inspired to achieve something, we can talk. I want to know why you're doing something, what you do, and how you plan to execute it. We got those 3 things in order. You're inspired to do something, and you're willing to listen to me and hopefully avoid my mistakes to have success in your life, then you're the right client for me.
No doubt. I agree with you 100%, because in the world of boxing, you can't be motivated. You got to be inspired. You got to be hungry for it, because if not, you're not going to go anywhere. You definitely got to be hungry for it.
I totally agree, man, because again, think about great champions, Mike Tyson, Muhammad Ali, your dad, Marvin Hagler, Sugar Ray Leonard, all these people, they were inspired to do stuff. They weren't just doing it for the short term, or for the money. They were doing it because they loved the sport. They loved the competition. They loved that euphoria that they got from being in the ring and from, going to battle as a gladiator, like they did back in the old days. And they were fighting for that competitive edge to be the best. Right? Do you make money boxing? Yes, absolutely. But you don't make any money boxing when you start out. So if you're not doing it for the right reasons, that you love it, or you're really like, hey, I want to be good at this, and for the long haul, you're going to burn out. Because again, I look at Tyson Fury, the champion now. Right. Tyson had a huge uphill battle with health issues, mental depression, anxiety, stress, all these things, excessive weight. Now he's the champion. He was inspired to always go and be the best he could. And he faced those demons, faced those things going uphill, trying to climb to the mountain. Now he's there. He can sustain, because I feel he was always inspired for the right reasons.
It's funny that you say that. I like when you say that, because I remember asking my dad, I said, how do you stay motivated? He said motivation wasn't it. He said, I just wasn't satisfied. I never was satisfied. Once I won the title, okay, I wasn't satisfied. You know what I mean? So I wanted to do more. I was inspired to do more. The biggest thing that I wanted to do was retire undisputed middleweight champion. That was the ultimate goal. That was the end of the line. Well, if I get there, then fine. And that's why I just kept pushing. You just can't be satisfied when you're there. If you want to stay there, you can't be satisfied.
Well, that's what the greats always do. They say, I am not going to settle for being at the top. I want to always push for more. So when you are a great, there's always a new mountain to climb until you're no longer on this earth and you can't climb any mountain, right? That's the way you should be. That's the way you should be in business. That's the way you should be if you're a boxer. That's the way you should be if you're a speaker. You are running a podcast, anything of that nature, right? Anything you do, if you're not going to continue to climb the next mountain, or I like to say, as part of mindset is the S, set. Set a goal, achieve a goal, set a new goal. If you're not doing that in life, I feel you're eventually going to get complacent. You could risk getting arrogant. And the biggest killer of anyone's business that I've ran across that's had issues has been has been that silent killer, which is their ego.
Yeah, that's powerful. Marques, your podcast, for instance, you're at the top 1.5% of podcasts. And Lev was telling us, we want to get even higher than that.
Oh, yeah, of course. We're looking for the top 1%, then top 0.5%. You don't just get complacent and say, hey, I'm here. Stop. Because again, you don't start something just to go the top 1.5%, top 1%. You start something and you finish something to go and be the best you can. And like I say, you always have what I call a finish line and beyond that you chase. So that way, when you get to the finish line, you always go beyond. So that way, when you achieve that goal across that finish line, you still have a beyond point that is your main frame. That's something that you're looking for, searching for, and striving for. If you don't have that, again, you cross the finish line, you'll be like I was with Caden. I crossed the finish line, became an 8-figure a year business, got to $15 million a year, largest minority contract in the city and the state of site work, money, fame, winning awards, buying what I wanted, nice cars, trips, going to play poker and spending money, all the stuff that didn't matter. and I stopped focusing on the task at hand. And because of that, I ended up losing everything.
So what keeps you inspired, Marques?
You know what? We have an amazing team of people that I am accountable to. Again, my partner, Don, George, my website guy, Donovan, my videographer, Albert, our trademark and patent person, Ben, our publicist. We have Jamie, who's our bookkeeper, Tom, who is our accountant, and Robert, who is our attorney. I am being held accountable every single day to those people because those people make money off of me. I'm part of the way they make a living. So if I don't do what I need to do, then I risk hurting how they live their life, and also hurts me, but that's not the main focal point because I can go and do something else, like I go cool football, something like that, if it really came down to it. But that's not who I am. I don't even think about that. I think about if I don't do what I am supposed to do, I risk the team that we have built, which is great culture, great continuity. We like each other. We can laugh with each other. We can make fun of each other. And it took a long time to find that right blend. And Ben was the last piece. And so far, for about a little over 2 weeks, and she's worked out beautifully so far. So because of that, right, we are accountable to each other. And because of that, I don't want to not do what I need to do to the people that I care about that have decided to join us on this journey, that their way of life is not effective.
I mean, it's awesome to have a team. I mean, that's not an easy thing, having a group of people that you gel with, that you get along with, and you work well together. That's not easy at all. But
brother, it's taken years.
Yeah, I'm sure. but let's say that you're starting out, Marques. I mean, how do you stay accountable to yourself?
You know what? You have to write down what you want to achieve, what you want to accomplish, so you can see it, and then reverse engineer backwards towards turning that goal into an accomplishment. We just talked about this today in our presentation in Washington, North Carolina, that accountability is the internal promise that you make to yourself to achieve what you need to achieve in life. And if you're not accountable to yourself, then there's no responsibility. Responsibility is the external promise you make to others to help them along their way, along their journey. So to be accountable, you have to write things down. You have to also put into your mainframe how you're going to do business and how you're going to execute the game plan. That's also huge.
So, man, what are your personal goals for this year, Marques? Outside of your podcast and you're working out in the gym and everything, what are some other goals that you have?
We have a big goal of having some courses go online so people who can't afford our high-ticket coaching or our speaking fee can still have access to our knowledge and information to help them along the way. And we're doing one right now with a very, very large partner, the Carson Group, working just for their internal financial planners within their organization. Hopefully that goes well. Then I would like to talk with them about doing some other online courses with them that the general public can buy and have access to. So I want to test out this course first, see how it does within their internal network. And once it is hopefully as successful as we'd like it to be, we can then talk about doing some type of online courses and other coursework that's geared towards individuals that, again, are outside the Carson Group network that want access to things around mindset, leadership, business, marketing, et cetera, et cetera.
Oh, that's fantastic. All right, so let's talk some football, man. Now, you know I hate the Cowboys, but I never asked you before, man, where does your love for the Cowboys come from?
Well, I've always never liked the Cowboys because I'm from Washington, D.C. So being from Washington, D.C., the Redskins, when they were called the Redskins, not the Commanders, were the arch enemy of the Dallas Cowboys. Yeah. NFC East rivalry, all that kind of stuff. So I've always just been because I was born in Washington, raised in Washington. I've always just had a dislike for the Cowboys because when you grow up in Washington, D.C., you love the Redskins at that time because there was no Baltimore Ravens. And there was just a huge arch rivalry between the Redskins and the Cowboys. And that's why I have always disliked the Cowboys because I'm from Washington, D.C.
Yeah, Pittsburgh is a rival to
the Ravens. Yep.
I'm saying they was rivals to Dallas too.
Yeah, but that was kind of like
70s.
Yeah, maybe somewhat. Yeah, because the catch and all that type of stuff. So yeah, I would say the 70s. But once the Redskins came in the 80s, maybe both in the NFC East, it became a rivalry between the Redskins and the Dallas Cowboys.
Right.
Yeah, San Francisco is another one too. Yeah.
For Dallas, absolutely, yes. The whole part, Super Bowls and all that kind of stuff, absolutely. Yep, Joe Montana versus Emmitt Smith and all that in those days. Not Emmitt, Joe Montana versus Roger Staubach and all those guys in the 80s. So, yep.
What was your take on the Super Bowl, Marcus, on the game itself?
I took the Bengals. I called 31-24. But, the Bengals played really good 3.5 quarters of football. The last half of the fourth quarter, they just shut it down, which, I don't understand how Cooper Kupp can get so open when OBJ is out. He's the Offensive Player of the Year. He leads the league in receptions, touchdowns, and yards. Why is he not double covered? How is he singled up when, again, that's the best player on the field, and OBJ is out with a knee injury. How do you not roll your safety to him and basically put the corner on the outside half? And if somebody else beats you, and also their top tight end, Tyler Higbee, was out. So why would you not put a corner on the outside hash, have a safety roll over there, and basically make somebody else on that team beat you? But then you give it one-on-one coverage and he gets an outside route. The corner is lagging off to the inside. The ball is thrown perfectly on the outside shoulder by Matt Stafford. Touchdown. And then the offensive line could not get a yard with 2 downs to go because Aaron Donald just was not allowing it. And they just didn't hold him in that second half of the fourth quarter. Right. And he made him pay and ball game over.
Right.
Yeah.
And then there were times where they should, when they stopped running it, they got in trouble when they stopped running. I was like, that was working for you guys. Stay with the run. They were doing a great job running it. You said,
I don't know why Ben Mixon wasn't in on 3rd and 1 or 4th and 1 to get that yard. Like, why was their backup running back in over Ben Mixon, who was killing them in the running game? So there was a lot of bad play calls, I feel, by the O coordinator, the D coordinator. And of course, they just gave Zach an extension, which is fine. Go to Super Bowl. Go from 4-12 to Super Bowl, runner up. Great season. But, they could have won it if they just would have made, I feel some different calls at the end.
I felt the same way. How could a team beat you just passing all day? They had no guys.
Nope. Exactly.
And they were struggling too at a couple of points, man. They had the game in the bag, man.
They did. They did. They really did.
Yep. They finished like the Falcons, Marcus.
Yep. On that back, they weren't up like that, but they just didn't do a good job, man, of putting the nail in the coffin. And as a result, the Rams didn't give up, and ball game over.
That's right.
Yep. What'd you think about the halftime show?
It was great. I thought, I've always been, a West Coast and both East Coast rap guys. So having Eminem and Dre and 50 and Mary J and Kendrick Lamar and Snoop, it was great. I've always loved all their music, and it's nice to see a lot of success. Dre's a billionaire, Snoop's worth a couple $100 million. Eminem's worth a couple $100 million or more. 50's a billionaire. So it's great to see, and Dre really helped to bring everybody up on that stage. Everybody came from under him. Eminem, Snoop, everybody came through Dre. So to have Dre be up there with all his people that he helped to make who they are, and now they're all self-sustaining, 9-figure people or higher, it's just great to see.
No doubt. I thought it was dope too. It was well put together. I liked the music that they played, and it was perfect. You couldn't ask for it. But first time for hip hop to be on that type of stage at the NFL, I thought that was great.
I agree.
Yeah. I mean, I think this is one of the first years, man, that we haven't heard any complaints about the halftime show. I mean, we've heard things about, the Illuminati and this and that. I didn't hear any of that from this halftime show.
Nope, there was no complaints, man, because everybody did a great job. It was well executed. And again, at the end of the day, it was really nice to see everybody just taking care of business, no issues, and it's nice and flowing with the groove. So I really enjoyed the halftime show in the game as well. So it was really great to see overall.
Absolutely. So you have some great guests coming up on your podcast, Marques. How do you come about getting these phenomenal guests on your show?
Just networking, man. Clients that I coach have shows and talking to their people, and then putting out great content on our show and getting great numbers and making it diverse and just hitting different vantage points. And as a result of that, people love coming on our show. We've interviewed a bunch of people, got a bunch of great sponsors. We interviewed Michael Strahan next Wednesday at 10 a.m. We're in conversation with Matthew McConaughey's people about getting him here, booked shortly. Some other big Hollywood stars, musicians. But again, it's just good old-fashioned networking and living by the law of value, giving people more value than we take in payment. And that's because we just always are focused on the value to our clients and our listeners. And so people love our show, and we're just continue to get blessed with great guests, great sponsors, and a great response to our product.
That's awesome. So business-wise, Marques, do you have any conferences or anything like that you have coming up?
Yeah, I'm actually the speaking job today in Washington, North Carolina, flying out tomorrow morning to San Diego to speak at the California Society of Municipal Finance Officers. It's the largest finance-based conference in the state of California for government officials. I'm the closing keynote speaker talking about having the courage to lead through change. Then next week, I'll be in Austin, Texas for the Maple Flooring Manufacturers Association conference, where I'll be speaking to them as the opening keynote speaker, which I'm so excited about. And, other than that, man, we have a lot of things coming up here in March. I've got a big conference I'm doing in Charleston, South Carolina in April. That's with the traders. That's with the Security Traders Association annual conference. So the Security Traders Association, it's their 44th event. So I'm their keynote for that. That's on a Friday evening in Charleston. I'm in talks. I have a big conference coming up in June. FIG, Financial Independence Group. I've got a big conference in Vegas I'm doing in September for my client, the Carson Group, their Excel conference, talking about mindset. So really excited about a lot of things happening. And what's really exciting is people love our message, they love our content, and they continue to bring us in for speeches, which is always fun to do, and all those kind of great stuff.
So when you have time to yourself, what do you like to do?
I'm a movie guy, man. I go to the movies. I go to the gym every day. Like tomorrow morning, I won't get to go because I got to fly out at 6, but I'll go to the gym at the hotel when I get to San Diego. I have about 5 or 6 calls I got to make. Then one of my clients, who you all know her well, Kim Brady, is driving up to meet me in San Diego. We're going to have dinner and just kind of, I've never met her face to face. So her book just arrived, Get Stuck In. So I'll have that to kind of take a picture with her and all that. And another one of my clients is coming to the conference the next day. A guy named Dave DeRocher, who's an NFL athlete, played for the Seahawks for a little bit. Went to San Diego State. So again, I just love to try to connect with my clients when I can, but I'm a gym guy, I'm a movie guy, and really a family guy, man. Just like you said, about to, finish up here and hang out with my daughter before I end up heading out of town. So, I'm a big family guy, so there's things like that, but the movies and the gym are my 2 biggest outlets for, stress relief.
No doubt. The movies, I'm a movie guy too. I love to watch movies. I end up watching it myself because my wife works. So when she comes home, we try to watch a couple of movies, right? So and then she ends up falling asleep. But then we would watch them the next day. She wants to go back like almost 2 episodes. I'm like, babe, we never gonna finish this movie.
That's how I feel, man. You know, I usually want to fall.
You just gotta keep moving.
That's what you gotta do, man. Because you don't keep moving, man. You're gonna keep stalling out on the shows.
You know what? I'll tell you what. I like what Michael Strahan said. I'm 100% like this too. Michael Strahan said, I remember he giving an interview and he said, because they asked him, you know, what do you do on your time when you have time off? He said, sometimes I just like to come home and don't do nothing. Sit on the couch and don't do nothing. I said,
yeah, man.
For a busy day, I said, yeah, that's really relaxing. I like
you got to, man. You
Yeah.
got to, man. Because you keep. I mean, you know, I go to say, I mean, I wish I didn't have to take the calls, but you know, I have some calls I have to do with some clients and some sales calls. I'm doing a podcast tomorrow with this big. It's a celebrity-based podcast, so I got that 3:00 and other calls and client calls, and then I'll be done about 5 p.m. Eastern, which will be 2:00 where I'm at. So I'll have a chance to kind of, you know, rest there and do some other things, and you know, because I'll be 3 hours behind, I'll be able to kind of get a couple other things done because it'll be a little bit earlier than it would be where I'm home. So I'll kind of take advantage of that. Maybe I'll go see a movie tomorrow if I can find a theater by my hotel, whatever, and then do my workout. And then from there, man, you know, meet Kim and just kind of relax, man, before I have to do a big presentation the next day for this massive client, which we're really, really excited about.
No doubt.
Cool. Man, what do you want to see in the theater? Is there anything good out?
Right now, man, I don't know. I've seen a lot. I saw Scream. I've seen Moonfall. So, you know, I don't know what's coming out recently, but I'll figure out what's going on, man, as far as anything coming out. But I've seen I've seen Scream lately. It was probably the last 2. I saw Spider-Man.
Spider-Man was great.
Saw Spider-Man, which was great. Yeah, I've seen a lot, man. I saw Resident Evil when it came out back, you know, in the winter. So I mean, I'm a big movie guy, so I've seen a lot, man. So I'm always just trying to see what's up. You know, I've seen. I saw that movie with the college football, you know, about the nil. I forgot what that was called. I saw that. I need to also go and see the Kurt Warner story.
Yeah, that's why I want to check that out too.
That was good.
I need to see that. So
that was excellent.
Yeah.
So
I've seen that. I mean, I need to see that. But other than that, man, you know, it is, you know, whatever the theater. I'm really easy going, man. I like a lot of genres. So, you know, I saw Ghostbusters. So, you know, I'm pretty easy going.
I'm waiting for that new Hobbit to come out. That's going to be interesting. That new Hobbit.
Yep. So I'm looking for that to come out. So, yeah, and I'm just that movie guy, and looking forward to keep moving, pressing forward.
Sounds good, brother. Well, man, it's been great having you back on the show, man. Thank you so much, Marques, for your time and everything. We wish you luck in all your endeavors this year, brother.
No doubt.
Appreciate it, fellas. Thanks for having me on, man. Talk to y'all soon.
Sounds good, man. Take care.
Hey, Doc.
All right. Thank you for watching Living on Purpose podcast. Subscribe to our YouTube channel.